When an artist distinguishes himself through both subject matter and technique, he attains a unique place in contemporary art. And Maruti Shelke, full name Maruti Baburao Shelke, is one such artist. Over nearly 3 decades, he has explored many creative approaches, but in recent years he has developed a technique that sets him apart. His work is figurative and rooted in concrete representation, focusing on the human form and human life. Social themes, particularly his innovative expressions of gender equality, are central to his practice. The most striking and unusual feature of his technique is that he never uses a brush to create human figures or any other forms. Instead, his entire painting process relies on a roller. Working in multiple layers of oil paint on canvas, he begins with dark tones and gradually applies lighter ones. The texture produced through this roller-based method gives his work its distinct character. To form figures, he uses engraving, enabling him to achieve crisp, sharp lines. He is the only figurative painter known to work entirely without a brush, and no other comparable example of this technique exists. Maruti Shelke's art is a complete and thoughtful combination of beauty, ideas, and social responsibility. His paintings are not only visually appealing, but also reflect his understanding of human life and social problems. His thoughts about human relationships and society are clearly visible in his paintings. Born in 1970, Maruti Shelke has progressed step by step in his artistic journey. He received his early education at the Raheja School of Art. He then continued his studies at the renowned J.J. the Raheja School of Art in Mumbai, and pursued higher education at Nagpur University. His artistic talent and dedication have earned him a special place in Indian art. He has received significant honors for his art, including the Maharashtra State Art Award in 1993, the Art Society of India Award in 1997, and the South Central Zone Cultural Center Award in 2003. He has been a member of the executive committee of the Lalit Kala Akademi. In addition to being a painter, he shares his knowledge through books on art education, one of which is Sketching and Drawing, a Personal View. This reveals that he is not just an artist who paints, but also a teacher and thinker who wants others to understand art deeply. From an early age, he was interested in figurative art, which primarily focuses on human forms. Social involvement and close observation of life shaped his thinking. Understanding social structures made him realize that discrimination between men and women still exists in every aspect of life. He began to consider how this inequality affects human dignity. As an artist, he felt a responsibility to respond to such injustice. Instead of loud or angry protests, he preferred to express his views through the sensitive and calm language of art. Maruti Shelke found unique ways to question gender discrimination in her paintings. One of his most unique decisions was to depict both men and women without hair. In Indian culture, hair is often considered a mark of a woman's beauty, but this very mark also restricts women's freedom by confining them to certain standards of appearance. Similarly, clothing becomes a limitation that dictates how a woman should or should not be. Maruti Shelke deliberately removes these limitations. When he paints men and women without hair, he attempts to remove judgments about beauty and gender. Through this, he envisions a society where physical differences may exist, but they do not become a cause of inequality. He recognizes that men and women are inherently different in terms of biology and anatomy, but he does not believe these differences justify discrimination. In fact, he sees that differences often become the basis for injustice and social hierarchies. This is how social structures like patriarchy, caste, and economic inequality are formed. He rejects this system. This can be said to be a special feature of their art, whereas such a concept of equality is rarely found even among women artists and other feminism supporters. They fight discrimination, but sometimes they inadvertently reinforce it instead of eliminating it. Maruti Shelke's approach is different. Instead of fighting the established discrimination between men and women, he attempts to eliminate the visible differences. In doing so, gender equality becomes a natural starting point in his paintings. Although some of his works depict women in traditional Indian clothing, he mostly avoids elements that suggest inequality. His aim is not to highlight women as a separate symbol, but to show all human beings as equals. Maruti Shelke's art isn't just about thought. It also focuses on exquisite artistic quality. His color choices are particularly noteworthy. His paintings use light, pastel, and soothing colors. These colors convey tenderness, peace, and compassion. According to Maruti Shelke, humans are inherently kind. No child is born with cruelty or harshness. As a person grows up, circumstances and social pressures alter their temperament, making them angry or ruthless. To reflect the natural tenderness of human character, he chooses light, soft colors. His paintings lack harsh colors or overt violence. In fact, his color palette reflects his personality. He speaks calmly, smiles naturally, and expresses his thoughts simply. His calm nature is directly reflected in his color choices. Another strong quality in his paintings is his use of line. Because he paints human figures, lines are essential for conveying form. Many artists use bold and strong lines. In contrast, Shelke's lines are calm, precise, and rhythmic. They are not forceful, yet expressive. They gently hold the figures and give them structure, while also connecting them to their surroundings. His lines are delicate enough to show beauty, yet strong enough to convey form. The planning of form, lines, and color together creates a balanced and beautiful composition. Maruti Shelke's canvases also demonstrate a thoughtful use of empty space. He doesn't fill every part of the canvas with color or form. Large areas remain open or empty. This emptiness has a distinct meaning. It is a way to allow the figures to stand independently, effectively asserting their identity and presence. In some larger works, he creates human groups, but in most paintings, he creates images of couples or families or focuses on relationships between individuals. These small human groups appear calmer, closer, and more social. The silence surrounding the figures becomes a space for respect, freedom, and reflection. It's not emptiness. It's a space for the subject to breathe. In this sense, his paintings can be seen as a peaceful hymn about human existence and identity. He doesn't shout or protest. He expresses his views with calm, depth, and humanity. He appears to be searching for a balance between coexistence, companionship, and spontaneity, a fundamental tenet of Indian philosophy. Maruti Shelke's art seeks simplicity, peace, and equality in human life, rather than over-dramatization. His works remind us that if we learn to see beyond physical differences, we can create a better and more balanced society.